Well, welcome back to part 1 million of 1 billion of the ambitious truSDX build. Tonight, gonna try and finish the RF board. Only a couple more components left. Got 2 transformers and 1 RF choke to wind and install, and the PA transistors and that inner PCB connection. And then I think after that it'll be time to hook it up to the the other board and power it on and see what it looks like. So if we look at the schematic, if we want to put L15, which is down here, 22 turns on an FT2743, and all the schematics agree 22 turns. FT3743, if we clear that, 22 turns, need 13 inches of wire, and we'll get about 170 microhenries, but don't really care about that. We just want the 13 inches of wire. So let's do that. 13, that's what, 5 plus 5 plus 3. So we, whoops, 5, whoops, and I'll roll a little more, plus 3. These uncolored ones are the FT43 cores. What did I say? 22 turns. So there's 1. I think of this as like electronic sewing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, whoops, gotta get that overlapping, there we go, 18, 19, 20, 21, oh, that's trying to overlap, there we go, 21, 1 more, you can do it. I'm pretty sure that's right. We will count these to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Good news, I did it. I suppose I should take a minute to warm up the soldering iron anyway. Like that. This thing. While I make this all pretty. solder. Let's see, we're back to melting stuff, so we'll turn up the temperature a little bit. There we go. Solder melts. Burn, burn, burn. There it goes. Love to see that bubbling off. Get the other leg. That's burning. As Blue Oyster Cult says, I'm burning, I'm burning, I'm burning, burning for you. And then that nice guitar lick. No cowbell though. Yeah, not too much solder. This might not go in. Let's see how that looks. L50. Oh, yeah, look at that. That is enough. We can just cut that off. See if it fits in the holes. Nope. A little too much solder on this leg here. I think that got it off. Good thing this is not a nice table. I'd be ruining it. Little blobs of solder. Install this guy. Oops, get that out of the way. Try not to inhale too much of the fumes. That's looking pretty good. 1, 2. Now, the more interesting ones. There's T1 and T2. And let's see. If we look at this, T1 and T2 are these two transformers to measure SWR. T1 is a 1 to 7. So the one turn goes from the antenna connector to this other one, which is probably this one straight across here. I bet this is connected to that. Whoops, I don't think you can see me. I'm trying to be too fancy. 1 and 2 are probably these ones straight across. But we will verify that with the multimeter, because that will make it easier if we don't have to redo stuff. Gotta love the continuity check. So this middle pin, and yeah, the other side is connected to all the relays. I think it should be this pin. No, this pin. Yeah, pin 5, which I guess is some of these must be open or shut, and I'm not sure what else they're connected to. I guess 5 and 7. But the important thing is this one is there, and the cross 4 and 3. So one of these should be connected to ground, probably this one. And this other one, 4, should be connected to probably this input. And also to R2, which is Yeah, so the single turn is these two, and the 7 turns is the other one. So if we look, if we clear that, we need 7 turns. It's about 5.5 inches. So, wire. Problem with magnet wire, sometimes you get little kinks if you're not careful. Let's see. 5.5. We'll just cut it right on that kink. So we'll have to deal with it later. Whoops. Uh-oh. Wire down. Saved it. 7 turns. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. That means we can spread these guys out a little bit. And this one I'm not as concerned about the inductance since it's just a transformer. I think we're more worried about the turn ratio. Oh yeah, this is just pulling off a bit from the antenna. So 1 to 2 is the 1 turn. So that'll just go straight through and it'll couple to the rest of this transformer. Let's see. I think I wound this with the wrong sense, which is mildly annoying. I'm going to rewind that. I don't like that. Might as well make it look nice. Nobody's ever going to see the inside, but it'll make me feel better right now. Let's see, so that went around this way, so we come around this way, I think. 1, 2. No, that looks like it'll still be the wrong way. I guess we gotta go through this way first. 1, 2. Yeah, this will be the right way. I guess I wound it left-handed or something. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, a little tight. I shouldn't have trimmed the wire so soon. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like that's still backwards. How did I do that? Hmm. That's annoying. Turns out this toroid is very hard to wind. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There, that time I did it right. Wait, quick check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 turns. It'll sit in the correct way. Let's, yeah, I think I can just put this in, and then I'll get a separate piece of wire, prepare the ends, and then just feed it through and solder it real quick. Warm up. Beautiful. The advantage to the heat strip stuff is when you do end up stripping it off, it tins the leads a little bit, which is always nice. Oops, that's gonna melt the surface of the table a little bit. So this was Transformer 1. In fact, I can probably even use one of these scrap pieces. This just has to go through. Let's tin these a little bit before we get too crazy. Wire is too slippery. There we go. One. Hold that. Do the other side. Goes through. Get that go in there. This side can go in there. Oh yeah. well, oh, yeah, there it goes. That's looking pretty good. Solder these all in. Get that out of the way. This one might take a minute. It's connected to ground. But we'll get it. Don't worry. Meantime, we can get some of these other ones going. Make sure this gets a good connection. Give it a moment. Let's see how that looks. Well, it's definitely a transformer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see. T2 modification reduces power dissipation in T2. Original was a 1 to 7, modified is a 3 to 21. Let's see what this guy says. T2. That says 3 to 21 as well. I guess we'll do a 3 to 21. My guess is if we look at some of these other ones, they're all going to say 3 to 21. Yeah. I guess 3 to 21 is the answer. Well, if we clear this, we need 21 turns, 12.5 inches of wire. This will use up most of the wire. That's good. Don't know what I'd do with millions of extra inches of this. There's 5, 10, 12.5. And we'll put on 21 turns. This is going to be a pretty full toroid with 21 secondary and 3 primary turns. Let's see, I think this is set up the same way. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This will fit in the right way even, like that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we'll cut that one a little short. And then I don't have any really longer pieces. A little bit more wire. Whoops, I should have seen how many turns 3 will take. If we plug it in, 3, calculate 3.5 inches. I only cut 2.5. Well, good thing I have more wire. These will have to get squished up a little bit so we have enough room for these last 3 turns. And it's got to be wound the same sense. So I went through this way first and around this way. So we'll start 1, 1, 2. Get it on there, there's 2, 3. And now we have 2 short leads, which are the 21 turns, and 2 long leads, which is the 3 turns. And we can strip all these wires and then plop it in. I like this iron. It's nice that it cools off in between uses. First half of the secondary, or is it the primary? I'm not sure, I can't remember. I think that's good. Do the short one. There it goes. And one more. T2. And since they're different lengths, we can fit in these 2 first, and then line it up and get the other two. Once they're all in, it should just slide in nicely. I need to help it along with some pliers. But, yeah, there we go. I don't want to start with the ground, that just makes it harder. One more. Ooh. That looks pretty good. Obviously, we'll check these with the multimeter before we get too far along and fix anything that didn't quite work out. There's 4. So, if we untangle these cords, there we go. Set it to beeping mode. I think. Whoops, that one works. Let's see, these two should be shorted. These two should be. These two. And if I flip it over and hold it on this, whoops, middle input here, I guess I can do it from the top side. And it should go to there, and it should also go to all these ones. And the ground goes to some places. But yes, it appears I have successfully installed all the transformers. So, those of you who really like watching me wind stuff, you can stop watching now since there's no more winding to do. Let's see. This guy should go on. I'm not sure this is the right connector. That seems like not quite the right spacing. Maybe this connector is better. We'll see. We're also going to need this guy in a minute. These are. Oh yeah, this guy's a lot narrower. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it will just go on. Sit slightly above, I guess. I suppose this one has to sit slightly above. Since if I put it below, it's on the wrong side. I wonder if the video shows SWR transformer. Well, we'll do it slightly out of order. I wish there were better pictures. I didn't have to try and look at this lower quality YouTube video, but whatever. Take its sweet time. Yeah, I guess his is kind of sitting up. Whatever, we'll use this guy since it looks a little nicer. That's gonna be a little bit. I guess I think I'll do the top side first, since that's got to be lined up very well. leave it higher temperature, the connector is really going to suck the heat out. See how we can get this nicely aligned. Now we flip it over and just a lot of heat to get this guy to do it. Ground planes, the bane of our existence, or something like that. This side should be a little easier since I've warmed up the brass. Maybe. If I flip this over, try and hit the top guy. It is quite pokey in there. It's probably, ooh, it's quite hot. Quite hot indeed. Hopefully nobody wanted to watch me do that since I forgot that I have to change it, but this is too hot to the touch. Ow. Well, that's what we get for touching hot things, I guess. Anyhow, I'll come into the bag of goodies, and in the bag of goodies are these three goodies, which should be BS170, whatever, MOSFET, I guess, transistors, and BS170. Good news. 1, 2, 3. They all just go. It's nice when they line up the holes to be the right size for the parts. This guy can get turned down a little bit. Since we don't have to melt as much heat, or heat up as much metal. Number 1. I suppose I could put them all in at the same time, but definitely easier to solder when I'm not getting in my own way from too many leads in a small area. Looks good. I found one of the leads I clipped over by my front door. They can really go shooting if you're not careful. And this final 170. I wonder how warm these guys get. Can't really put heat sinking easily on the ones with the black plastic cases. whatever style that is. Can't ever remember the number. But those look good. 1, 2, 3. Wow, look at that. All the holes are filled except for the last one. And if we look, enter PCB, we gotta make sure we install this on the correct side. Wow, this video is... Well, it looks like he's soldering it on the top side, so that must mean it goes in on this side. I guess we can jump ahead. Assembly of the housing. Maybe he plugs it together, we can see which way it goes. I wish they were just normal pictures. Because where's the main board? I guess it would make sense that it goes this way. Those will fit pretty closely together. I guess if it goes on top, then yeah, it's got to go on the bottom. There's no way these two boards will fit together the right way on top. Well, we'll stop looking at that. This one, we just got to put on a single pin, make sure it's nice and level. And this one is not a ground pin, so it should be easy to solder. Yeah, not quite on all the way. Flat. That's a bit better. Once we have one pin on, the rest should be easy. Assuming we can warm up the ground plane enough. Well, there's a lot of ground pins. Ground, 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 RF, forward, reverse, 12 volts. Oops. Another 12 volt pin. SCL, that sounds like a data line. SDA, that also sounds like a data line. BCC, I'm not sure why that's different than 12 volts. 2 more ground pins. I suppose it makes sense you just ground all the ones you're not using. That's what I would do. That looks pretty good. Certainly not the prettiest job, but for a hobby, it's good enough. And that, I think, is the last component. Let's see. Put this away so we don't lose it. what's in here? A speaker, and a couple extra pins. And this is spare transistors and amplifiers. So then these guys should just, maybe I'll let this cool a moment. And they'll just push together, and then maybe, well, tomorrow night, let's see, is the CWT. I think I'll do that. Nice to make some contact, especially since I just put the antenna back up. And then, yeah, maybe Thursday, if I'm not busy packing, can apply power and see what burns up. Hopefully nothing, but this should just go together, I think. Oh yeah, there it goes. Hopefully that's enough together. Well, we'll see if I ever get a case. I may need to trim some of these pins. That's pretty nice looking. I like it. This will be the front. This will be the bottom. The case will have to be thick enough once I find some sort of 3D printer. But hopefully it's not too hard to get these apart again to mess around with the filters, as I'm sure some of those turns will need to be adjusted. Oh yeah, there it goes. Yeah. Well, that was a success. Feels good to have all the big parts done, and should be the interesting engineering type challenges from here on out. But until then, 73.